The Green Bay Packers drafted Jordan Love in the first round of the 2020 NFL Draft. And not only did they draft him, they traded up to draft him. So what was the real reason the Packers drafted Jordan Love when they have Aaron Rodgers? It's not as simple as you think. Let me explain what is going on, y'all. Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the Green Bay Packers and their quarterback situation with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. And as mentioned previously, it is not as simple as people make it out to seem. Everybody's given their 2 cents on why the Packers have drafted Jordan Love, and let me do my own and give my take on it. So let's get started. So I have been wanting to make this video and give my thoughts on the Packers taking Jordan Love, but I'll be honest with you. I wanted to wait. Because I wanted to hear everybody else. I wanted to hear what everybody else had to say about this situation between the Packers and now Aaron Rodgers and them taking Jordan Love and really why they did it. And now I know. Now, again, for the most part, the consensus is that the Packers are obviously looking towards the future, right? They're looking towards the future and they want the guy for the next 15 years, and Aaron Rodgers is getting up there in age, and so that's why they drafted him, right? Well, partially. There's more. And I'll tell you the real reason why I believe the Packers drafted Jordan Love. So it certainly has partly to do with that. Absolutely, the Packers want to have, somebody for the next 10 to 15 years. And they obviously did this with Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers was the guy that was their next quarterback in line. But that situation, people compare it all the time now. It wasn't the same. Aaron Rodgers was arguably the best quarterback in that draft. And he could have gone, number one. Alex Smith went number one in that draft. And I even went back and looked at what the experts said and what grades did they give Green Bay. And you would think, right, everybody gave the Packers like a horrible grade, like, taking Aaron Rodgers because nobody knew. Actually, no. It was a bunch of B's, C pluses, C's. It wasn't like an F or anything. They were saying, Aaron Rodgers was too good to pass up. I don't blame the Packers for taking him. Did they have a positional need? Sure, but, Aaron Rodgers is too talented to pass up. So, for the most part, Aaron Rodgers, everybody knew how talented he was at that time. Maybe we didn't see him turning into a Hall of Fame quarterback. Sure, but we knew how talented he was. Fast forward to 2020, Jordan Love was the 4th best quarterback in this draft. Joe Burrow, Tua, and then Justin Herbert, and then Jordan Love. So, again, and some people even think Jalen Hurts is better than Jordan Love, so potentially 5th best. So, it wasn't like Jordan Love was considered the best prospect in this draft. By far, he wasn't. Now, could he turn out to be the best quarterback in this draft class? Sure, absolutely. He could. I would bet against it. I'm higher on, obviously, Joe Burrow and Tua, but anything could happen, right? But when you compare those two situations, it's not the same. Okay, so let's throw that out because, like I said, you can't use that argument because it's not the same argument. Then we take a look at the fact that they moved up in the first round to get him. Okay, and not only did they, draft him in the first round, they traded up, right? They traded up from, I believe, the 30th to the 26th pick. So that means they really wanted this guy. Okay, they really wanted this guy. And what that tells me is it seems like the Green Bay Packers and their front office are kind of having a Jerry Krause situation. Now, Jerry Krause was the former general manager of the Chicago Bulls in their 1990 dynasty, if you will. If you guys have watching The Last Dance, you would know who I'm talking about. And Jerry Krause's main issue was he wanted the credit. He wanted the credit when the Bulls were winning all those championships. And we all know the credit went mainly to Michael Jordan, as it should. He was the main reason the Chicago Bulls won those championships. Now, Jerry Krause did deserve credit for putting the team around him, absolutely. But again, there was a need to get that credit. Why I bring that up with the Packers organization, it seems like, especially now with the new head coach, Matt LaFleur, and the GM, Brian Gutekunst, it's a power struggle where the Packers, when we talk about the Packers, we only mention Aaron Rodgers, and for good reason. I mean, he carries that franchise. Now, last year, they did turn into a bit of a running team. Aaron Jones had a phenomenal year, And Devontae Adams is a great receiver, but for the most part, everybody knows the Packers go as Aaron Rodgers goes. And so I believe the Green Bay Packers front office decided they want a quarterback in which they could mold. Because the regime that drafted Aaron Rodgers is gone. It's not the same regime. This is a completely new regime, right? And so they want their own guy. And so they want a guy they can groom and turn into their own. Why? Because, again, here's the thing. I like Aaron Rodgers. I like him a lot. He's one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. But we have heard over the years about Aaron Rodgers and his, personality issues and how he rubs teammates the wrong way and how he doesn't get along with guys and he's a little bit aloof, things like that. We've heard things. Now, again, I don't know Aaron Rodgers. Nobody really does. We're all just speculating, but these are things that have been reported on him by various people. So I'm going to kind of take it with a grain of salt here, but we've heard those things. And what does that tell me? Aaron Rodgers does his own thing, right? Aaron Rodgers is that damn talented that he does his own thing. He pretty much gets away with it. And what really solidified this point for me was I was listening to Greg Cosell, who's a phenomenal football personality, just an absolute, football brainiac who, does scouting and various other things. You guys can go look him up. Greg Cosell, fantastic guy. And he basically said that Aaron Rodgers, the thing with him is he does not play structured football, okay? When you watch the tape, Aaron Rodgers plays out of structure. Basically, the thing we all know about Aaron Rodgers, what makes him so special is he makes magic plays, crazy throws, angles, tight windows that weren't there, things of that nature. Compare that with a guy like Tom Brady, who is literally just running the offense. And that's why you see the 5-yard curl routes, the swing passes, the screen passes to the running backs. Again, not sexy, but it gets the job done, right? And with Aaron Rodgers, a lot more exciting because why? He's playing out of structure. What is playing out of structure? Well, if the read is, the curl route, 10-yard curl route, whatever, to the receiver, but Aaron Rodgers wants the home run play and he gets it, that's playing out of structure. So, making the receiver call an audible and, running a different route, things like that. That's playing out of structure, not running the offense that the coach wants you to run. And with Matt LaFleur, I feel like now with him on board, having, Coach Rodgers for a year, he talked with the GM talked with him, and they're like, okay, look, we need our own guy. We need our own guy. Aaron does his own thing. He's not going to listen to us. Now, could they still be successful? Yeah, they were 13-3. But again, ego. What can you say? It's ego. So to me, I think that's the real reason why they drafted Jordan Love. They wanted to make a statement to Aaron Rodgers and say, listen, we know you think you are, the guy here, and he is, but you're still replaceable too. And we're going to show you by drafting somebody. And so that's what they did. And as far as immediate impact, don't get it mistaken, folks. There is no way other than injury Aaron Rodgers is not the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers for at least the next 2 years. No chance. I don't want to hear it. Jordan Love is sitting unless Aaron Rodgers gets hurt. Contractually, it just doesn't work out because the cap hit is just way too much. Nope. Way too much. So it's 2 years for sure. And then after the 2 years, now things get interesting because now you can get out of the contract, potentially, see what happens here. And my hunch is the Packers don't want to force Aaron Rodgers out. They want him to kind of leave on his own. Leave as in maybe retire, leave as in, pull a Brett Favre, retire, go to another team, like things like that. They don't want to trade Aaron Rodgers. They don't want to push Aaron Rodgers out before he's ready. No, they just want to kind of make it where he wants to kind of retire, and they're hoping he does in 2 years. And so again, that's kind of what I'm seeing here with the Green Bay Packers. With everything adding up here, to me, it just seems like they want the control back. Aaron is a guy that does his own thing. And to them, it's just not sustainable in the long term. They want to run their own offense. They want to run their own guy. Now, again, do I agree with it? No, I don't. Because when you have a generational talent like Aaron Rodgers, you just put up with it. You just put up with it until he is ready to hang him up. and then you worry about the rest. Because again, does it mean that Jordan Love's going to sit 4 years? Who knows? But he's going to sit at least 2, and we'll see after that. But for the most part, I do think the Green Bay Packers are out. Their front office is looking for power. Aaron Rodgers wasn't giving it to them, and so this is their plan to get it back. And believe you me, they will do everything they can to get it back. So do I think Aaron Rodgers' days in Green Bay are numbered? It sure does feel like it. Again, I don't agree with it at all. I think you should absolutely still build around Aaron Rodgers until he decides to hang him up. But the Packers disagree, and they want to go in a different direction. So there you have it, folks. The real reason I believe Jordan Love was drafted. So let me know if you guys agree with me or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.